Madrid, 1834. You are the royal physician. The king is dead, yet your duty is not over. Inside the chamber, silence weighs heavier than stone. Queen Maria Cristina stands before you, her eyes swollen from grief, but her voice steady, almost commanding. What she asks of you feels unnatural. Not a healing, not a prayer, but a preservation of something grotesque. Your gaze drifts toward the bed where Ferdinand's body rests. Even in death, his presence feels suffocating, and beneath the sheets lies the strange and terrible mark of his cursed reign. To understand Ferdinand, you must begin with blood. Not the metaphorical kind, but the literal blood running through his veins. His family, the Bourbons and the Habsburgs, had spent centuries marrying cousins, nieces, and uncles. The result was not noble purity, but fragile minds in broken bodies. Born in 1784, Ferdinand carried this cursed inheritance from the very start. The dice had been loaded for centuries, and when he was born, fate gave him the worst possible hand. By adolescence, his deformity could no longer be ignored. Whispers spread. Physicians wrote in secret. Ferdinand was afflicted with a member so distorted, so oversized, that intimacy was almost impossible. It was not a symbol of virility, but of shame. Court gossip turned his condition into mockery. Servants laughed, foreign envoys whispered, and Ferdinand, humiliated by his own body, grew cruel, paranoid, and obsessed with control. His shame became sacred, dangerous, and anyone who discovered it paid the price. His first marriage was to Maria Antonia of Naples. She was young, innocent, full of hope. But the wedding night was no celebration. Her screams echoed down the palace corridors, real, terrified screams. Doctors rushed in with cushions, oils, and strange devices. What should have been romance became a medical procedure. For Maria Antonia, every night after was pain, sedation, and despair. She carried pregnancies, but none survived. Her body weakened. By 1807, she was dead, officially from fever, but in truth from a broken spirit. What followed was a cycle of trauma. His second wife, Maria Isabel of Portugal, endured the same nightmare. The palace walls heard her screams. The bedchamber turned into a theater of suffering. Cushions, ointments, restraints, all in the name of producing an heir. Ferdinand invited doctors, surgeons, even charlatans to study him like a specimen. His wives were reduced to patients, their bodies broken by fear and exhaustion. And each death only deepened his paranoia, until grief was no longer grief, but obsession and control. By his third marriage, Ferdinand had become a living nightmare. Maria Josefa Amalia approached her role like a medical experiment, writing every attempt in journals. For Ferdinand, this coldness felt like betrayal. His paranoia grew wild. He spied through peepholes, intercepted letters, and believed every whisper was treason. Spain itself was collapsing, colonies revolting, the people starving. But the king cared only for his cursed body, his phantom heir, and his broken queens. By the time Ferdinand married Maria Cristina, his paranoia had devoured him. He filled the palace with secret doors, spies, and tasters for every meal. His chambers became a gallery of grief, lined with death masks of his wives and unborn children. Spain was crumbling around him, yet he spent his last years obsessed with control, suspicion, and his cursed legacy. Ferdinand died in 1833, leaving behind not glory, but whispers. A king remembered not for greatness, but for deformity, cruelty, and sorrow. And so ends the story of Ferdinand VII, the deformed king of Spain. His reign was not just written in blood and betrayal, but in the shadows of a grotesque secret. Behind the golden walls, his queens wept, his people suffered, and his kingdom crumbled. History remembers him not as a ruler, but as a warning that power cannot hide weakness and cruelty cannot heal pain. Sleep well tonight, and may your dreams be gentler than his reality. Good night.